Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Hello, anybody there? Hello?
I'm not here. There's no doubt I'm out here.
Come on in. Have a sit.
Welcome back to You Should Know This Song.
Yeah, we are MixedApez. That's Race over there. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. And I'm Reed, and I'll say hi.
Hi.
And we're going to get rolling with an episode of our great
And wonderful.
We think it is. So we're just going to go with saying that.
Sure.
Podcast show that you've come to know and love and can't resist gathering around.
Known as You Should Know This Song.
Know This Song. Our podcast about music, primarily rock music. We do our commentary, our blathering, our running on. And so this episode, what are we going to do, Race?
I'm going to say we're going to start with Prime. That's a
good idea.
Our primary challenge.
Prime Cuts,
there
as it's
go.
Fully known.
Yeah, sure.
The lyric is, and the air outside's so soft, confessing everything, right?
Nope. And then we're going to do, what is it? Twist and Shout.
Twist and Shout.
Prime Twist and Shout.
Yeah.
And the format for Prime Twist and Shout is?
We turn it around. You have to name lyrics of a song that you're challenged with, rather than getting lyrics and figuring out the song name.
Right.
So
there you go. So I mentioned the song, and you come up with some lyrics from that song.
I have to come up with some lyrics that are
from
not
that song.
From that song
Yeah.
that are not the
chorus.
Not the name.
Okay, there you
that you were just given. You should know lyrics to the song Rosalita. This is why I love this segment.
Your daddy, he don't like me because I play in a rock and roll band. And then the third segment looks like it's going to be an uncontrolled substance. And this time, I have no idea what he's going to talk about.
I'm going to spring something on Race, and we're going to see if my idea works, because I have confidence that since most of what this whole thing is based on is
just
ADD.
Bullshitting anyway. Yeah.
Bullshitting. That, I'll be able to toss something out there and we'll kick it around. I just said Blue Skies by Willie Nelson, and you were going to say...
And that took me to Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys.
Yeah.
Which took me for some reason to the Bloodletting album by Concrete Blonde.
Concrete Blonde?
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, that's the format. That's what we're going with this time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We're asking you, as always, follow, share.
If you're back here to listen again, and you haven't followed, please follow.
Again, make sure and turn on notifications on your podcast platform of choice. And I think it's time to quit talking and start talking.
Yeah, here we go with Prime Cuts and Rock On.
Alrighty, who's going to start this one, Reed? You or me?
I think you should start this one. See how generous?
You're so gracious.
See how selfless?
I am just, I don't even know how to respond.
Don't try to be like me, because it's so, Okay, the clue I was given, and I should know this song, is Here We Are, Born to Be Kings. Yes. It is coming in.
Is it ringing a bell?
It's not enough. Go with another lyric. We are princes of the universe. Oh.
And you do know this song.
I know this song, but I'm getting a blank. I'm getting a blank whiteboard in my brain. Here we are, born to be kings. We're princes of the universe. It's not coming.
Oddly enough, those that were born to be kings are called Queen. This is Princes of the Universe is the name of the tune. It was actually used in the soundtrack for, what's it called? The Highlander.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Not the TV show.
No, the movie.
Yes.
The movie.
Written by Freddie Mercury, 1986, off of A Kind of Magic is the name of the album.
I have to go back and listen to that. I think
I've
only
heard that.
You have
to go back
that
and watch that movie. It is such a cool movie.
I've only heard it a handful of times, I think.
Yeah, and the harmonies, that they kick up, like it starts off very swelling harmonies right at the beginning. They're amazing Queen harmonies, as they always do.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So, Princes of the Universe, Queen, and I got you on that one.
Princes of the Universe. So here, if you're born to
are.
be a king,
You're a prince.
you're a prince. Okay, I thought you said you're a queen. I was like,
No, I said those that are born to be kings happen to be called queen.
happen to be called queen.
I'm going to just keep talking. You can listen or
I
not.
got you.
don't
No,
really
I
care.
got you. I was trying to figure out what. Yeah.
Whatever,
Clarify.
man. Whatever, man.
All right, go ahead. Take
Don't call me a
your
goat head.
take your
It's
frustration
your
out
turn,
on me.
sir. Should I know this song?
It is my turn, and this one I'm taking a little risk with. I think I don't know. We'll see. See what you think. Here's your first clue. You should probably know this song.
Just living on a Sunday morning, got my toast and tea, and I'm warm and
Any of that ring a bell?
Nothing at all.
I will say this is a little more of a current alternative music hit, but it was a big hit on alternative radio and what have you.
I just thought I'd think about all the things to get and keep getting and never enough, not enough, and never ending. No, I have no idea what this is.
Okay. Maybe the song name and the band will ring it through. If anybody out there has this, rush to your phone and call the hotline before
What's the name of the damn song, Reed?
The song name is Here and Now, and it's by Letters to Cleo.
Nope. Never would. Never. I wouldn't. If I saw them on the street, I wouldn't know them. If they knocked on the door right now, I wouldn't know.
The band is Letters to Cleo. The song, if you go look it up, if you go listen to it, I know you'll know it. I'm not going to try to sing it, although I really want to clue you in. It's an argument as to why we need to. Or it would be great if we could play song clips.
Right.
Anyway, it's from 1994.
So it's not current. You said current.
Well, it's current in the realm of what we're generally talking about, which is 60s to 80s mostly.
I wouldn't have known it anyway, but still,
you'll know the song.
It's only 40 years old.
You'll know the song, and you'll remember it, and I know you know the song. Anyway, the album was Aurora Gory Alice.
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool name.
It's a cool album name. So again, Letters to Cleo from 1994, and that was my first bomb out. So I'll let you come along and hopefully provide something with more substance.
All right, I've got one for you then.
Okay. Should I? Would I?
You should know this song.
The song I should know is... Oh, yeah. I know this song. The lyric is, and the air outside's so soft, confessing everything, right?
Nope.
What is the lyric?
The next lyric?
Soft. Yeah, confessing. Is it confessing? Oh, it's saying everything. Yeah, all I want is to feel this way. That is one of the top 4 or 5 coolest band names there's ever been. Toad the Wet Sprocket. I never went and looked. I always wanted to go and look and see why they named the band Toad
It's
the
a
Wet
Python
Sprocket.
reference.
A Monty Python reference?
Yeah, absolutely. And oddly enough, they weren't the only band to use that name.
As a band name? What are you
Yes,
talking
sir.
about? I never
Yes,
looked
sir.
it up. What are you talking? Okay.
There was a Toad the Wet Sprocket long before there was a Toad the Wet Sprocket.
No way.
Yes. And I don't have any other references.
And they made recordings that were
Yes.
publicly available.
I can't tell you how much success they had. Probably none. But yeah, it was apparently Eric Idle was trying to come up with the most ridiculous band name he could think of for a Monty Python sketch.
I never heard this
You
story.
didn't notice.
I
very,
love
very
Monty
surprised.
Python.
So,
But there's so much
get
Monty
the
Python.
specifics
Anyway,
out of the
go
way.
ahead.
Toad the Wet Sprocket is the band. Todd Nichols, Glenn Phillips, Dean Dinning, Randy Gus, 1992. It was a single. It did show up on a couple of soundtracks, but initially it wasn't released on an album that I could tell. So anyway, yeah. It's a
That is bizarre and
Monty
super
Python
enjoyable.
reference.
I never realized it was a Monty Python reference. I'm gonna go check that out. Everybody out there, go check that out. Tell us what you think. And if you know a song by the Prior, that had to have been like a 60s.
Yeah, I
thing
think
then,
it
or
was
maybe,
late 60s,
maybe
early 70s, if I'm not mistaken.
The Prior Toad the Wet Sprocket Band Seems like they would have had to go through some legal.
I'm not sure,
wranglings to get
but
that name.
I did actually double check.
Toad Duet Sprocket was a huge favorite band of mine through all their
While they
active
were out.
recording.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They were so easy to like, and
Oh
it was
my
really
gosh, they
right.
made some
It was
fantastic
right in the
music.
middle of that kind of like in the middle of the lane of the kind of shit that you and I like from the previous era. Anyway,
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
it was Smithereens and the Bodines and all of that. It was in that same genre as far as I'm concerned.
They had some, anyway, we could go on about Toad for a while, but there was a band thing that tried to get started that I was in, and we played some Toad songs, and it was really enjoyable. Anyway, that's kind of an aside, but that's how much we were into them. Okay, Rayce,
Yes.
you should know this song, and if you don't, well, then we'll work it out. Okay, here it goes.
So she cried to the southern wind.
This is a band you love, and you just told me the
Yeah.
other day that this guy is like one of your music idols.
Okay. You want to give me another line there?
And it's not one of their off back album songs. It was like a radio.
And she cried to the southern wind about a love that was sure to end. Yeah, I'm not getting anything here.
Okay.
What do you got?
I like this one a lot because you're going to love it, because then the song's going to ring into your head as soon as I say who it is, and you're going to be hearing it all day, and then you're going to be like, yeah, cool, I'm going to go listen to that song. That is the first two lines from the song Showdown by ELO.
Oh, I can hear it now.
Yeah, totally opened up. I knew it would. Yeah, and you love that song.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, I know you love
do.
that song. Jeff Lynne wrote that song.
How did I not know that?
1973 from the album On the Third Day.
And by the way, in case I haven't said this in the last 3 episodes. Jeff Lynne, man, what a guy!
Yeah.
What an entertainer! What a
songwriter! What a composer! What a musician!
what a guy! Just as far as like the history of rock and roll, and like really gets into the whole thing and where it all came from and where it's all going.
Yeah.
Works with everybody.
Right.
And how do you like? I mean, I know that they started in the early '70s, but like, how do you start your musical career in the early '70s and become best friends with the Beatles and several of the Beatles and Roy Orbison and you know what I'm saying? Just crazy.
Yeah, and get to be in the Traveling Wilburys.
Yeah.
Tom Petty, the whole deal. It's pretty impressive, and I
not to
think
mention-
it can be explained by the fact that he started off making just amazing music right off the bat. The very first album and all the albums, just great songs all the way through. Anyway,
did we cover the specifics on that?
we did, yeah. Again, Jeff Lynne wrote it in 1973. The album On the Third Day, ELO Showdown. Again, go listen to a lot of ELO, man. There's a lot of really great ELO.
One of my younger son's best friends is a huge ELO fan.
Yeah, rightfully so. Okay, get it on. What do you
All
got
right,
for
do
me?
you know this song? You should know this song. Maybe you know this song? I don't know.
Well, now I'm confused as to whether I do or should.
I think you should know
Okay,
this song.
my clue is when you make love, do you look in the mirror? I'm going to know this.
Sure you are.
I swear I'm going
You
to know
say
this.
that all the time.
My mind just skipped off onto a Def Leppard song, and I know that's not this. So now I got to get back on track. Okay, the next line is, who do you think of? Does he look like me? Oh, come on, brain. Yeah, it's back there.
Nothing?
Oh, no, there's something, but it's not coming to the fore. I'm going to know it as soon as you say it. Oh, my gosh. Who do you
Well,
think
I'm going to
of?
save you some grief
Does he
because
look like me? I can hear that.
you said your mind skipped off to a Def Leppard song.
Yeah.
Def Leppard song, and that's not it?
Yeah.
That's it. It is the Def Leppard song you're thinking of. These are the
Oh,
droids
it
we're
is.
looking for.
I just said the line, too. Does he look like me?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, it is Def Leppard. I was thinking of the first... Anyway, the verse before that, I think. Is that the first verse?
It is. It's the beginning of the song.
Do you look at me?
It's
Yeah,
the-
it is. I was thinking of the
It's
next
the front
next verse.
line.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, so 1988.
That
For
is
some reason,
hilarious.
apparently, I didn't grab the album. It may have been called Love Bites. That's the name of the song.
Right.
I don't know why there's a hole there. Anyway, Robert.
There you go. Go with your instinct sometimes.
Robert
Just,
John, Mutt Lang, Phil Collins, Steve Clark, Joe Elliott, Rick Savage, or otherwise known as the band. And it looks like, yeah, that's the only one on the entire page that's missing the album name. I'm going to assume it's Love Bites. I'm probably wrong.
hey, send your corrections in. Tell Rayce
Yes.
what it is, folks.
Yes, tell Race he's an idiot, please,
Right.
because he
It's not
is,
Love
obviously.
Bites. It's
So, yeah.
yeah, that is hilarious.
and that's
I started to
way-
hear it, and then I was like,
and then
no,
yeah,
read.
that can't be right. Race wouldn't pick a Def Leppard song, which is why Race picked a Def
That
Leppard
is
song.
fantastic. I
Trying to
love
go
it.
outside my
I love it.
outside my regular wheelhouse, back to like the poppy shit that everybody loves, and I'm not shooting at it at all.
No,
It's
no.
just when I was that age, I was in my late 20s, whatever. I'm shying away from the shit that's like the
Super radio
super
airplay.
radio
yeah,
airplay, right?
yeah.
And the thing is, it's a tune that everybody can sing along to, everybody loves. You know what I mean?
Well, right. And, there was a little, we have talked on the show before about how we're a little, we consider ourselves a little bit of music snobs, although, what are you talking about? The Def Leppard phenomenon in that period, with regard to the music I was listening to, it was like it didn't match up, right? They were on the edge of a glam band, right? Posers. We used to use those terms,
Sure.
right?
And we were like into the alt thing, and we were cool.
we were in
'cause
there,
nobody else was.
right. And
Exactly.
the rock,
like
hard
we were hipsters
rock,
before we were hip, before there were hipsters.
right? And the hard rock I was listening to was hard rock. It wasn't that produced, shiny stuff that
Right.
they were making. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah. And then those guys were touring,
Filling
with-
stadiums across the globe, man.
and touring with the bands that I was listening to, that I was calling like genuine hard rock bands. You know what I mean? They were totally respected. They
Yeah.
were totally ripping it
It
apart.
was essentially you and me being idiots.
Oh, right,
Yes,
right. It
yes,
was just a joke.
And again, why should anybody be surprised by that?
Okay, so it's my turn. And I really hope this one works out, because I'm just excited about the possibility of it being snap into your mind. You should know this song.
When your world is full of strange arrangements, I do know this song. What's the next line?
Oh, this one's...
And gravity won't pull you through.
There you go. There you go. Now, whether or not you know the band is the question.
The song is "The Look of Love."
Right.
I want to say the band is ABC.
Oh, nice. That
Is that
was
right?
nice.
1983.
Ooh, 82. Damn, you polished that one off. That
Nice,
was good
nice.
right there. Well, hold on. The name of the album then.
Uh,
Let's get the Triple Crown going here.
Well, if it's not "The Look of Love,"
That's it. It's
Okay.
The Look of Love.
yeah.
ABC, The Look of Love, the
That was
song,
definitely. We
as
were
well as
talking
the album.
recently about the Guilty Treasures kind of thing.
Yeah.
That shit there, that really poppy alt.
Oh, yeah.
From the new
little
wave
bit
era.
syrupy,
Little bit
certainly
syrupy,
pop
very,
new wave. Right. right.
Mostly British
Right.
bands that were doing like way syrupy is the best.
Sappy, syrupy
yeah.
kind of stuff.
That's the kind of
Right.
shit.
Right.
Big Country was another one of those.
And it was cutesy, although Big Country had some...
Yeah, I'm not saying they were bad. It's just
They
they
had
were
some rockin' tunes in their mix, but the stuff you heard on the radio sometimes
right.
from Big
Absolutely.
Country. Yeah. Was
so that
was a
era.
little
That's
cheesy.
the kind of stuff that like I could sit and do a couple of hours of that outside in the summer, drinking a beer or two.
Alternative cheese, I think is what I would call that. I would call it alternative
but
cheese.
I like it. I do like it.
I just made that up. I think it's fitting though. That the reason that's a little ironic after the last play with the Def Leppard thing is because that right there is, like you said, it's the Guilty Treasures stuff. It's your secret listening to it with the windows rolled up in the car when nobody knows.
and hope that nobody pulls up next to you. while
Right. But you dig it. You know what I mean? You just love it because it's from the time and there's memories wrapped around it and whatever. And
And how could
there is a quality of that song and some songs like it that I could name that's like you're snapping your fingers and there's something about the
thing
orchestration
is, how could you
in
like
the
that
background
and then be snobby about Def Leppard? You know what I mean?
or
It's-
anything
yeah,
really.
It's complete
right.
cheese.
Right.
All
Okay.
right, well, and again, we covered all the particulars.
We did
right.
because you named all of them
I didn't know
correctly.
the songwriters.
Oh, no, you didn't. I'm sorry. David Gerald Palmer, Mark Andrew White, and Martin David Fry were the songwriters. Oh, I forgot Stephen Barry Singleton.
Why
on
do
that.
all of yours always have three names? Do you actually go and look that up intentionally, or is it just
No,
a fluke?
it's fairly common for whatever reason for songwriters to, for copyright security purposes,
Sure.
I'm going to use that stupid incorrect phrase, to use like their full name. So it can't be confused like if they have to take somebody to court. Hey, my name is Steve Jones also. How
Yeah,
can you
yeah,
prove,
yeah.
you know?
All right, Reed. You really should know this song.
Okay, so I should know. It's a shame that you won't see me when I need you tonight. Hold on, I'm going to try to change the. It's a shame that you won't see me when I need you tonight. Next line. Line, please.
Oh, shut up, Nancy.
Okay, it's a shame that you won't see me when I need you tonight. Next line is, 'cause I know that if you did, then everything would be right. I do know this song.
You definitely know this song.
It's a shame that you won't see me when I need you tonight. 'Cause I know that if you did, then everything would be right. I'm not going to get it. I know I'm not going to get it.
You're not going to get it. It's Blues Before and After by the Smithereens.
Oh, yeah.
Man, and you know.
I know that
I think
song.
you actually have this disc.
Yeah.
11, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Smithereens, written by Pat Denizio, 1990.
Now I can hear
By
it.
the way, Pat Denizio, did I ever tell you that I always wanted to have, like the Smithereens, you could hire the Smithereens to do an event. Like
Really?
You really could. Yeah. And I wanted them to come and play in my backyard for like as a thing. And then he passed away before I ever made it happen. Not that I could afford it even now. but
Right.
It was just one of those things.
Well, I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if you could.
1990. I saw them at Union Station here in St. Louis. It was one of the first dates my wife and I went on.
Right.
And it was a free show. I can't even tell you who else was there because I didn't fucking care. I was there to see
Sure, yeah.
Smithereens, right? And the guitar player, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head, did a bit where he took a beer bottle, stuck it between his teeth, a full beer bottle, stuck between his teeth, flipped his head back, and chugged the beer while he was playing a solo. It was one of the coolest rock and roll moments I have ever fucking seen. I'm telling you, man. It was a blast. I was so impressed by that.
That is rock and roll over the top as it gets. Ain't it?
Absolutely. So again, the album was 11. There's 11 songs on there. And it's not a best of, but pretty much every one of them is a hit.
Right. They're all really, really solid tracks.
I cannot
really
believe you
enjoyable
didn't get that
songs
one,
to
man.
listen to.
Seriously.
I gotta say, I don't. I don't know why that didn't come. It did, pop into my head as soon
knew
as
the
I said what it
song.
was. That's just horrible and bizarre. But I gave you an ELO that you didn't know. So
That's
okay,
true.
hey,
It was the exact same deal, too.
you know what's gonna happen next?
I should know this song.
You should know this song.
And now I'm stuck in the web you're spinning. You got me for your prey. Give me the next one.
This is another. I'll give you a little help. It's another alternative band
Well,
that
there's a surprise.
would have really been, like, I think probably you really would have listened to this band. Here's the next line.
Sorry, I'm not home right now. That doesn't ring. And now I'm stuck in the web you're spinning. You got me for your prey. Sorry, I'm not home right now.
And then the dot dots are because it goes into the chorus and the name of the song.
Okay.
It's do you want me to
I'm
give
stuck,
it to you?
man. Give it to me.
So this band is No Doubt,
Okay.
and this is Spiderwebs.
Okay.
You hear it?
No.
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 Sorry, I'm not home right now. I'm walking into spiderwebs. Yeah, no,
Yeah, it's not there.
I thought
Yeah.
you would know that
I
song.
need to go and find that though, because that's another Guilty Treasures band. Actually, it's one of my son's Guilty Treasures.
Actually, it's not a Guilty Treasures band for me. I will play that band anytime. Like Gwen Stefani's career from there, and all sort of some of the things she did, where she just drove right into the middle of pop. Yeah, and pop diva status. The music that No Doubt made, like their ska was fantastic.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And as an alternative band doing ska, holy cow, like a lot of their tracks you can just crank up and really get into. The lyrical content is cool as crap.
Well, these lyrics right here, yeah.
Yeah, and the rest of it was really good. And frankly, her vocals, whether for whatever reason
she's got
at
a
the
great
time,
voice.
the way she used her voice and the way she used her quaver, in combination with the ska and some of the riffs that were being played,
it really worked for you.
Really, really cool music.
Cool.
Spiderwebs is the song. No Doubt is the band. Written by Gwen Stefani and Tony Kanal in 1995 from the album Tragic Kingdom. That album's great all the way through. Just all the way through. And they had a couple albums that were just, rockers front to back. Okay.
I got another one here for you. I think maybe we got a couple more that we can do, and then it's time to move on to the next thing. Does that work for you? So, Reed, you should know this song.
Okay, I should know. Something Inside Me Has Just Begun. Yes, I do know that lyric.
And what is it then? Do you know? Can you pull it, or do I need to give you the follow-up?
Has just begun. The next line is, Lord knows what I have done. Oh, I'm doing it again. I mean, it's just back there in the fog. The line, something inside me has just begun, is definitely, it's not coming.
It's not
It's
coming.
not going to get through the fog.
Really?
God, it's right there. Yeah.
All right.
I give.
Lamb Lies Down on Broadway.
Oh my God, yes.
I know you. I know you to be a
hear it.
huge.
As soon as you said the Lamb, the whole song just flooded into my head.
Yes, I know you're a big Genesis fan, especially from that era. As a matter of fact, one of the very first ones you ever texted me.
Oh my gosh.
One of the very first one you ever texted me was, "Me, I'm just a lawnmower."
Lawnmower, you can tell me by the way I walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big Peter Gabriel fan. I'm a big Genesis fan.
Yep.
And I know that song, and the Something Inside Me Had Just Begun line, it was right there. I mean, it was just right there. Now I can hear the whole song.
It's also one of the only two albums that I've ever heard the word squonk on. There's
that is super specific.
There's a song called Squonk by them.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
There's Any Major Dude by Steely Dan. Have you ever seen a Squonk's Tears? I have no idea what the word means, but they both.
I never checked it out either.
Yeah. So that's The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway from the album of the same name. The band was Genesis, Tony Banks, Peter Gabriel. It's the last song that Gabriel and Banks wrote together.
Oh, really?
And yes.
Did not know this.
Yeah, and because Banks was gone.
Right.
Just immediately thereafter.
Right.
And
they wrote some
as
cool
far as
stuff.
concept albums go, man, one of the cooler concept albums. There's not much on there that's not great.
Oh my gosh, it's progressive rock for sure.
Absolutely.
Fusion progressive rock. They were doing a great
and just that whole like the keyboards just swallowed your head. You know what I mean? But
and of course,
you didn't get
Peter Gabriel's vocals and the lyrical content, the stories that he winds through and the way he winds them through. There was a lot going on there. I was thinking just the other day how the transition from, not to get too far afield here, but the transition from Peter Gabriel fronting to Phil Collins fronting initially for the next couple albums was really true to the format from that era. They
Genesis.
Stuck with the progressive, fusion-y, cool stuff. And then
some stuff crossed over, and it took them...
Right. They started crossing over, but I went back and listened to even like, to an extent, even Abacab was still a musically creative, cool, adventurous stuff going on there.
It sounds like you're saying that wasn't the case as much after. And
right,
it was just, it wasn't that it wasn't the case, I don't think. It was just different. It wasn't less musically, they weren't less brilliant.
No. You know I'm saying, but
it wasn't the music, the detail.
The music was decidedly more mainstream, and I don't necessarily mean that with any disrespect. But it wasn't, changing time signatures and all that stuff. Sure. Mixing it and a bunch of different instruments doing a bunch of different things. like the albums prior to that.
And I'm sure you know this story, but I'm going to share it anyway for the folks that may not. How they got to Phil Collins being the vocalist. Essentially, because he knew all the music and could sing in the right key,
Yeah.
they had him working with whoever they were auditioning.
Right.
Right, like he would go and sit down and sing with them and
Oh,
play on
I
the
see.
piano and show them, here's how it goes, right.
Lead them along the songs.
And they went through 4, 5, 6 guys, and
they were like, "You're doing this."
Yeah, and it was like, why are we doing this? Why are we beating ourselves up? You can do this.
Right, we've already got you, and you can sing.
Yeah, so,
and Phil Collins could wail.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the guy, great pipes for sure.
All right, so you want to give me your last one?
Yeah, it will be
this,
my
segment.
It will be my turn, won't it? I like this because I think I have high hopes that this is going to be ending on a really cool note here. So
cool note. I see what you do there. Sorry.
You should know this song.
I heard you on the wireless back in '52. Give me the next line.
This song is highly notable in music history.
Yep. Give me the next. Lying awake intent at tuning in on you.
This song is a first song. It's a first. How can I give you a clue without giving it away?
Is it, I heard it on the X? No?
No, but you're close. No, I guess that's not really close. No, you're not close. I mean, the musical style and everything, you're not close. This is a new wave song.
Okay.
And it was the first song to be played on a new format.
Oh, so this can't be the Buggles.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's Video Killed the Radio Star. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the intro lines to Video Killed the Radio Star.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And the first song played on MTV, as you do know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, as you are.
That's how I got the answer.
Right.
You didn't give me extra clues.
That was from 1979.
And do you know that we've used this song in Prime?
Yeah.
In the very beginning of all this.
Yeah. Maybe not even a published
it might be just
episode because the sound was too wonky.
Yeah.
Even wonkier than some of the sound we bothered to publish.
On the sound. We really, really are. We've got all different kinds of things going on trying to get this right. If it's not sounding right to you, please know we're working on it.
Yeah, and let us know what format you're listening to it on
and why and what it sounds like.
Right. We've tried to listen on the various podcast broadcasting stations because they do
all sound
a little different each one. Yep. So if the one you're listening to sounds awful, we want to know. We want to know what we're trying to wrestle with.
Anyway,
that from 1979, Video Killed the Radio Star, and aside from being an MTV first song and noted for that, it's a really cool song.
It really is.
It's a very cool song, musically and all that stuff. Written by Bruce Woolley Joffrey Downs. That's Bruce Woolley Joffrey Downs. So sort of besting the others who use only
names.
Their
he has 4.
Okay. They have 4. And Trevor Charles Horn from the album English Garden, and that brings us to...
Hold on. English Garden. I want to run this out there. I've sent you a text on this. Adam Ant.
Yeah.
Has a concert that a concert tour that just kicked off.
Oh, yeah, it was announced.
It was just announced with the English Beat.
Yeah.
Starting at, I want to say at Madison Square Garden. I could be wrong about the venue, but I know it's in New York.
Right.
And it's right up our alley. It's the kind of crap we listen to and love.
Yeah.
So I don't know when they're coming to your area or if they are. I don't know if they're even coming to my area. I didn't check. But I wanted to get that out there for our
I would love to go see that.
All fans.
I
would too. And the guy's got to be my age, right? I mean,
sure. Yeah. He's our age.
So he's going to be stumbling around the stage in his get off of my lawn bullshit. But
hopefully he'll be wearing the full pseudo Native American war
the crap he was wearing back in the 80s.
All that strange. I mean, I had a weird love-hate relationship with his whole persona and his music and all that stuff. And the music more love because it was quirky and weird and creative, right?
Yeah.
But the
play on word stuff right up your alley.
Yeah. But the weird war paint thing and all that, I was like, what? Yeah, okay, I really kind of dig it, but I really kind of hate it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know if he'd be able to get away with that these days, but
no, I would doubt it.
But the creativity of the music and the lyrics and all that, and the English beat. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Talk about a guilty treasure.
Absolutely.
You know, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, thanks for dropping that in there, and I think we're going to move along.
Yeah, I think that's the end of this segment. We are going to...
We're going to do Twist and Shout.
Right, where we turn the format around.
Yeah, where we flip it. So we'll get to that here in just a second.
And again, you're listening to You Should Know This Song
by MixedApez on MixedApez Radio.
That's us.
I just made that up. Okay, here we go with Twist and Shout. Where we turn it around, we're going to be giving each other a song name, and the other person needs to say some lyrics from that song without...
That don't just include...
Not just the name of the song, right. It could include, but it needs to be some lyrical content from the song.
Absolutely.
And, if you can... who the artist is,
whatever you got,
what the year, whatever else you got.
But you got to come up with something.
Right, you got to come up with something that verifies. So, I'm going to get started, right?
Please, it's your turn.
You okay with that? You should know lyrics to the song Rosalita.
Yeah, and give me just a second to pull them all together here.
This is why I love this segment.
Your daddy, he don't like me because I play in a rock and roll band, and your mama, she don't like me, but she never did understand.
Yeah. You know it.
Yeah.
There's just line after line. That's really great
That's
lyrics.
a great song lyrically, but like a lot of Springsteen, the lyrics are pretty cool.
Right. When you just look at the lyrics, the storytelling there, that's really awesome.
Yeah. Because the record company, Rosie, just gave me a big advance.
My tires got slashed and I almost crashed, but the Lord had mercy.
Yeah.
My machine, she's a dud. Anyway, we could keep going on with that. So that's Rosalita by Bruce Springsteen, written by, you want to guess? You want to take a wild guess?
I'm just going to say him and maybe...
Nope,
just him?
Just him by himself. 1973 from the Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle album. Which, like a lot of them, you like Springsteen, you don't. The songs all the way through.
I think for me, the stuff that was popular back in the mid '70s. I mean, we all listened to it, whether you were an aficionado or not. Like this stuff, it was all over the place.
Yeah, it was all over the radio anyway, and the music.
The thing is, if nothing else, it was a real good time. The music was party music.
Absolutely.
It was playing it at the beach music. You know what I'm saying? So.
And, some of it revolves around whether you thought Springsteen had a great singing voice or not, like Jagger, like Dylan, like some of the other, iconic guys who you're like, people talked about whether or not
they
were singers.
Yeah.
The songs, the music, the performance. I mean...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's any number of those bands, and we could talk about... that could be an uncontrolled substance.
That could just go on and on. Okay, it's on you to...
You should know the lyrics to Something So Strong.
Oh, yeah. Love can make you weep, make you run for cover. Wounds that run so deep give life to frozen ground.
That's pretty damn close. Very good. Very
Wounds
good.
that run so deep. I can't think of that next line accurately.
Something So Strong.
Yeah.
The next line.
Yeah.
That's Crowded House, 1987, the Crowded House album. I believe it was their first one, but I could be wrong about that.
I think so.
Finn, Mitchell Froom. There's a lot of Crowded House there. I mean, I love that shit. That's right up my alley.
Jeez.
And it's not extremely complex musically.
Yeah.
But it's the lyrics. I love the lyrics. It reaches the poet in me, if you will.
Oh,
that sounds lame as shit, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, and even if even if you can say the music's not that complex, their melodies were always super catchy, super kind of unique. You know what I mean? To me, just almost everything they do just hits your ear. It just grabs you. It's ear candy for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, my turn to see if you know some lyrics to this song. I'm going to say the name, but I'm not sure that I'm not going to need to give you the artist because it's kind of a common song name, Surrender.
The Police one? I mean, the Cheap Trick one?
Cheap Trick one. Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
there.
fun, right?
All the lyrics are
Look
great.
at this smile that
All
just
the lyrics
erupted
are
on your
great.
face. It's such a fun, enjoyable, great song.
Yeah.
I mean, such a great song.
Rolling Numbers, Rock and Rollin', got My Kiss records out. Yeah.
Yeah, Mommy's All Right.
All right. Your mother she served in the wax in the Philippines. Yeah.
Yeah, all the way through.
Yeah.
I mean, what a great tune.
Yeah, I love that song. That's another, party,
Oh my
sing along
gosh.
song.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And right there in the heart of the whole, alternative music and what have you. Cheap Trick, written by Rick Nielsen from 1978, off the album Heaven Tonight. Great album all the way through.
And they put Hamer guitars on the map.
Yes. Rick Nielsen. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He's the guy for that. And he might have, I don't know if I could say this, but black and white checkered Vans or any number of color combinations of
I don't know if they were Vans, but yes, absolutely.
red and white checkered stuff. Yeah. But
And he brought the beanie back for a while, the
he
propeller
did bring
beanie.
the propeller beanie back for a while.
Yeah, and they were. I'm originally from Chicago, as you know. They were a Rockford area band.
Yeah.
They were considered a local band in Chicago. I mean, it's an hour and a half away.
Sure,
but,
right.
So we were very proud of the cheap tricks.
Of the cheap tricks.
Of the cheap tricks.
Okay, what do you got for me? What do you got?
All right, so you should know the lyrics to "House We Used to Live In."
Oh my gosh, I am not getting something. The name of the song is not bringing the song to me. House We Used to Live
Okay,
In. Who's the band?
The Smithereens.
No. That's not ringing to me.
This is the house we used to live in. This is the place we used to know.
Yeah.
This is the house we used to live in.
What's the chorus?
House that we used to live in. House where you broke my heart.
I know the song.
House that we used
I
to
do
live
know
in,
the song.
tearing us
I
apart.
haven't heard it a lot. I'm not terribly familiar with it, but I do know the song.
Yeah, it's off.
Yeah, there it is. It just hit.
There you go.
I got the
House,
rhythm.
yeah.
You.
Yeah, okay.
Just got the rhythm, just got the melody. It just came through.
Yeah,
That's funny.
1988, Green Thoughts, Smithereens, Pat Denizio again.
The DJ pulled the cord out from the headphones, spinning around to the bin, flipping through the albums in the crates, trying to, God, which one? Where is it? Slap it on the turntable fast.
It is so weird, man. It really is.
That is bizarre. Anyway, go ahead with the propers again.
That's everything. 1988. Green Thoughts was the album.
Green Thoughts. Yeah, I had that CD.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Good Lord. Oh my gosh, now I can hear that song just ringing.
And now you can't do anything else because it's in your head.
Right, now I can't think straight. Okay, I'm going to get you with this one.
Sure you are.
You should know some lyrics to You May Be Right.
By Billy Joel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know all of the lyrics to that one.
Well, prove it.
All right. Friday night, I crashed your party. Saturday, I said, I'm sorry. Sunday came, we thrashed it out again.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, and so forth and so on. Yeah.
Nice.
That's that late 70s era.
1980.
Yeah.
Very close.
Before he met the evil one and changed his career. I really do believe that I really did believe when I first saw Billy Joel as a kid, when I was a kid, and he was too, for Christ's sake, that he was going to be like the next great American composer.
Yeah.
I really believed that. And then he met the evil one and...
Wow.
And
you got some conspiracy theories going on there.
Doing doo-wop, man. I mean, and it's not bad. It was great music. It was fun. But
right.
It totally derailed that thing. And
it wasn't reaching the heights you anticipated him reaching.
If you listen to the first 2 or 3 albums, there's really some, even just scenes in an American restaurant off of The Stranger.
Yeah.
That's a full...
The Stranger, the album.
The album, it's a full orchestrated piece. You know, I mean, it's with movements and everything.
Right.
I really did believe that, he was going to be...
Yeah.
The U.S.'s equivalent of Pete Townsend.
Right.
And it just kind of never came to fruition. That's not to say that his music, all of his music wasn't great.
No, he made some very, very cool songs in the
and some
whatever that
conscious
transition
stuff
was,
and some other great stuff. I mean, just
I love a lot of his catalog from them, but I know what you're saying. the approach,
the
of
musical
the
depth
music,
that he was
right,
capable
the approach of,
that
the
he was
music changed.
that he seemed to be
Right,
on that road.
right.
Anyway,
Yeah, but that happens with art and artists and people, humans. We tend to, meander as we do. That was Billy Joel from 1980 off the album Glass Houses, and a lot of really great songs on Glass Houses. And now you go.
all right. So this is my last one for this segment, and
Okay.
I've actually skipped ahead because the song is so cool. You should know the lyrics to "Every Day Is Halloween"
I'm blanking.
by Ministry.
No, I don't know lyrics. I was never really into Ministry.
Really?
I was never really into Ministry very much. I mean, I know,
You know
Jesus
the song.
Built My Hot
Boom,
Rod.
Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. You know the song.
I know the song.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the
Why
song.
can't I live my life for me? Why must I take the abuse?
That was a. I would go
That's
to a
techno.
club.
That's
I would go to a
definitely
club and it would be playing, and I would be drinking and laughing with friends and not paying attention to it, but aware it was
Oh.
playing, but not going out to my car and turning it on and playing while I was driving.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was aware of the music and who the band was and all that, but I didn't play them.
I had an EP that was "Every Day Is Halloween," "All Day," a remix of one of them and something else. It was only 4 tunes, and the "All Day," the beginning of the remix was like, it sounded like Nazis marching. That was like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was very
Ominous
weird.
and heavy.
Yeah, and heavy,
Yeah.
and but I mean, even
Dark.
Yes, very dark. But
Ministry wasn't afraid of getting dark.
yeah. Wow, I'm surprised you didn't know that one.
Yeah, that I'm not surprised, but I should know that song.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
That was a single. It was not originally released on an album. It was on that EP that I spoke of. Al Jorgensen, Jourgencen. I hope I said it right. 1984. Mm-hmm. All right. What do you got
in the heart of the alternative?
Absolutely. What do you got for? And again, heavy, deep techno, solid techno.
Yeah.
What do you got for
Am
me?
I doing one more?
You're doing one more. Oh
okay.
wait, you started, right?
I did start.
Oh, let's do one more round then. Is that cool?
Yeah, I'm good with that. You know me, I could just keep going ad
forever.
infinitum. Oh, I was supposed to eat dinner. I was supposed to go back home and see my family. What? Okay, you should know some lyrics to "In the Name of Love."
The U2 song?
Yeah. Is there another? I guess there has to be.
Yeah,
That's
there's
fairly
a
common.
couple. Yeah.
There's.
I can, man.
Isn't that bizarre?
The chorus is stuck in my head.
I can hear that too. The shouting, sort of whining.
Is that Sunday Morning, April 4? Is
Yeah.
that the right song?
Yeah.
Shots rang out in the Memphis sky.
Yes.
Free at last. Oh God.
Yeah. Now the whole
That
song.
song makes me cry. It actually, like those
the whole
lyrics,
song's
actually,
rolling.
you know, they're just kind of like, yeah.
kind of make you tear up a little bit.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. It's that kind of song. It should move you for sure.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Cool.
That was, of course, U2, and the guys wrote it: Adam Clayton, Dave Evans, Larry Mullen, and Paul David Hewson. 2003 from The Unforgettable Fire. What do you got to say about U2? We could do an entire Uncontrolled Substance about
Absolutely.
U2. We could do an entire episode about U2, of course, along with a lot of other
They're a
bands.
band that there's stuff that they have that really hits me, and then some of it I just don't care about at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think
Which
that,
is oddly the case for me, which is oddly the case with a lot of bands who are really substantial.
yeah.
A lot of bands who are substantial, like I can say the
You mean
Stones,
substantial as in hugely
like
popular? or
hugely accomplished in rock music,
Okay.
because we're talking about rock music. Like for instance, the Stones. I don't have a whole lot of grief to give about whether Mick Jagger can sing, but there are certain songs of theirs I'm like, could never hear it again.
Yeah, and
And
you're
there are
fine.
a lot. Most of their songs, I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But some of their songs, I'm like, let's just skip it.
Yeah.
In the catalog, I do have more of an affinity for U2.
Sure. My wife's a big U2 fan.
Yeah, they were in that 70s, 80s, 90s, really, and even early 2000s, really strong thing going on though. And their last couple albums, for me, I've really appreciated them.
And the last couple of albums, I'm not at all familiar with. So
They haven't gotten a lot of attention, but they were.
And it's not a band that I go looking for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so I got my last one then.
Yes, your last.
You should know the lyrics to "Use Me."
Oh, by. Wait a minute.
Yes, you have it.
I'm not getting the name. Bill.
You got it. Bill Withers.
Bill Withers. Yeah. I was stuck with Billy Preston coming out of my mouth while Bill Withers was in my head.
I don't even want to address that.
My brother, he sat me right down and he talked to me. He said, I ought not to let you just walk on me, but baby.
Okay. You obviously know it.
Yeah.
All right. So Bill Withers.
Really, really great song.
Oh, what a phenomenal song. What a bass line. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah.
What is it
The
about
keyboard
the bass lines
part,
that just get me, man?
The keyboard part, the lyrics, the whole thing, that song, the rhythm of that song. Yeah. That song just
written by Bill Withers, performed by Bill Withers, 1972. It was a single. And speaking of bass lines, I was listening to ZZ Top on the radio yesterday on the way home from work. And Nationwide came on. I'm Bad, I'm Nationwide came on, right?
Oh my God, I thought you were saying a Nationwide auto insurance commercial came on. Why didn't I make the connection? Yeah.
So, and, you know, they're a great band. They all the props in the world. But they got past the initial part with the vocals, and it goes into a very heavy groove, and the bass line.
Right.
And he's playing, Billy Gibbons is playing, I believe he's playing dual notes on the guitar. I don't want to say it's harmony, but he's playing two notes simultaneously during the lead.
Yeah.
And the bass line just I literally turned the radio up as loud as it would go, and I'm rocking down.
So you could sort of
hear
into it.
I'm rocking down the road, bobbing my head while I'm driving, and the bass line is just man, that's a great fucking bass line. Man, that's a great bass line. Over and over. I'm talking to no one because there's no one in the car but me.
Oh, you were saying it out loud.
Yes, absolutely. As I'm driving down the road, rocking my head.
I love that. I love the thought of that.
To everybody on the road.
I know that I have done the same. Talked out loud about how much I'm enjoying an aspect of a song with no one else in the car.
All right, so that's the end of Twist and Shout.
Yes, we are.
And again, that's one that it turns out to be a lot of fun, man.
Man, I really do like that that approach. I do.
Yeah. We're going to go into uncontrolled substances.
Correct.
Or uncontrolled substance, I'm sorry.
Uncontrolled substance.
And in this case, it's a complete... I have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Which is generally the case. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I've got the rabbit in the hat, and I'll pull the rabbit out at the appropriate time.
All right.
Before we jump in there...
Sure.
We're going to do a little bit of sidetracking, a little nest keeping, as it were. That's right. If you don't know why we're saying nest keeping, go back a couple episodes and listen, and you'll hear why. It's because apes make nests. Good God. So I just had a couple things in mind that I wanted to touch on. I'm not sure if you've got anything loaded up or not, but in a previous episode, a correction to touch on. In a previous episode, Race hit me with a clue to Led Zeppelin's Ramble On, and the tiny little, again, the thing I keep describing as the scratchy tag on the shirt that won't leave you alone was, I thought that it was, the lyric was Gollum, the evil one, crept up and slipped away with her, and the correct lyric is Gollum and the evil one crept up and slipped away.
And I corrected you at the time.
You did correct me. And I was still like, man, that's not what I'm hearing in my head. So I went and looked it up, and do credit that you got that one right.
That I was right.
You were right.
You were wrong.
And I was wrong. I was incorrect, and you were correct.
I remember you being rather vehement about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like, man, all I can hear in my head is that. I wasn't trying to be argumentative, in denial, but I couldn't hear around it. You know what I'm saying? Which is one of millions of those kind of things, I'm sure. You think you know all the lyrics to detail, and then you're like, what? For the past 30 years? I thought... so that was one. Another one. Do you have anything?
Not at the moment. Not because I didn't make the mistakes, but because I haven't stumbled over them yet.
Right. The reason I want to bring this one up is because I think it's kind of fun, interesting, enjoyable, amusing, whatever. My lovely bride, Jill, heard the episode of Bean Enchiladas in which Rayce dropped the spoof lyric, when I fight with Dorothy, Dorothy always wins, which was, of course, John Cougar Mellencamp's song, yada, yada. And I made reference to, that should be integrated into the musical Wicked, right? And we laughed about the thought of that and what have you and all the potential applications. Well, Jill kind of knows the musical Wicked, and she read the book. And she listened to the episode and brought to me, you have to use this as a correction on the show.
Because Dorothy's not...
And tell people I said it, because Dorothy is not in the musical Wicked. She's not referenced the interaction, what have you.
It's about the sisters.
Right. It's about the sisters. And I was like, how can that be? Because isn't Dorothy the thing that, made the good witch and the wicked witch come together, blah, blah, blah. She was like, nope, she knew the whole thing. So we kind of got, I guess, and I wasn't referencing it like
you knew what you're
literally
talking about.
like I knew what I was talking about. Just the thought that somebody
Sure.
who I fight with Dorothy, Dorothy always wins. But that's from knowing the Wizard of Oz, not Wicked.
Not Wicked.
And not understanding how to
Exactly.
separate the two stories. So
It's like doing the book report based on the movie. And they don't end the same, then that's very, very common, right?
Right,
So,
absolutely. So there was that. And the last thing I have is on me from our Guilty Treasures segment. In a previous episode, I was referencing Sia, the artist, the female singer Sia. She's a very well-known pop artist, what have you. And I was trying to be careful not to say what I had in mind so loosely. And I said that she, really hit it big in her 30s. Well, the reality is she was 40. And the reason I was referencing it is because she really just,
burst on
started
the scene.
smashing it way later than people do as a pop diva. You know what I mean? And I think it's kind of important to make note that you don't have to be 26. Right? You just have to be talented. You just got to put it out there.
And stick with it.
Right, stick with it. And she is. And I don't honestly know the story of how long she pounded away to finally hit the charts and be a huge worldwide, multi-album,
Sure.
Success in and through her 40s. But I think it's important to make note that she accomplished that. So,
And actually, I'm sorry, are you done?
I am done with that. That's all that
I don't have a correction, but I do have a note.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter apparently just listened to the episode that we did the covers on,
Yeah.
and earlier this week, and had sent me a text that
We didn't do the episode earlier this week. She
she
listened,
had listened
to it earlier this week.
yes.
Right.
and I'm kind of semi-quoting here.
Okay.
All right, but so very, and then in parentheses, not very, but not really, offended that I didn't get asked what my favorite covers were. And I had reached out to a bunch of folks, and all three of the other kids were talked to.
Right.
for that.
We're
So,
included in the invite.
that. And very disrespectful that Aretha Franklin's cover of Respect wasn't mentioned by anyone. Come on.
Nice.
And I was like,
Nice.
that's a cover? I didn't realize that Respect was
Respect
a cover.
is-
And my daughter, that's less than half of my age and shouldn't know this at all,
Right.
pointed it out to me. And then she also said, Twist and Shout is one of my all-time favorite Beatles songs, and it's one of my covers. And I'm proud of the fact that the Johnny Cash cover got
Mentioned
mentioned by all y'all.
Right. In fact, we mentioned Johnny Cash covers, but
Covers,
one
yes,
cover
yes,
was
the one
a
cover
clue in
specifically.
particular.
But at any rate, so I apologize to my youngest daughter for not being the good dad that included her.
Including her and inviting
Absolutely, and she had some valid shit to say.
her. Yeah.
As they
That's
always
awesome
do.
input.
So
Fantastic
I'm a failure
input.
as a father, and
I love it. I love it. Not you being a failure as a father. I mean, you're stating the obvious. But that was mean.
That was mean.
just
Accurate, but mean.
That was just mean. And not accurate at all.
So we were going to move into
We're going to move into uncontrolled substance.
And again, we are Mixed Apes.
We are, and this
This
is our commentary on rock and roll and rock music show. You should know this song from MixedApez Productions on MixedApez Radio.
Okay.
In our studio known as Rayce'z Oasiz in lovely country.
Okay, I'm going to edit you out for the rest of this episode.
No, that is all fun shit. Okay, so it's on Uncontrolled Substance, and the big surprise. Okay, so the idea I had, and this is a little risky, I know, but I'm excited if it could possibly work. But we may just have to toss it out and go with a different subject altogether. It could crash and burn miserably. The show is, as we have stated any number of times, the result of ADD. I mean, it is a production of us.
I can't let go of it.
Right. The origins of us challenging each other with lyrics goes back to being in the middle of your workday or doing something you're supposed to be responsibly doing in your life. And the DJ in your head just keeps turning the volume up more on songs at random. And so you start sharing those, mental interruptions with somebody else and hopefully, passing along an earworm or that kind of thing and getting it out of your head. So because in my head, at least, and I think maybe not to the same degree, maybe to the same degree, there is a constant stream of songs. Just they're always in the background to be tapped into at any time. I hoped, and I was thinking about this the other day and how it could go. I kind of tested myself on it, I guess. I hoped that we could do a spontaneous open format song word association thing and see if we can just trigger each other back and forth. I know that doesn't really define what I'm talking about, but for instance, if you think about a particular song name, a song lyric, a band and their song list, if I said ELO, Mr. Blue Sky,
Right.
the words blue sky is nothing but blue. There's Willie Nelson.
Sure.
Right? Now you can say a Willie Nelson something that triggers it. And my mind just cascaded with that. I could have just sat there like a zombie, probably my wife looking at me, is he having an aneurysm or what's going on? As I was thinking about it, and my brain was just,
Yeah, because I just went through like from cowboy to cowboy.
There's the next thing and the next thing. So I wanted to see if that could play across the table. And even if it has any element of functionality, it would be a really cool thing for three or more people.
Sure.
Just as sort of an open, let your mind go, whatever comes into play. So I just said Blue Skies by Willie Nelson, and you were going to say...
And that took me to Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys.
Yeah.
Which took me for some reason to the Bloodletting album by Concrete. Is it Concrete Blonde?
Concrete Blonde?
Yeah.
Wow, that is a cool jump.
It's not Bloodlet. It's the Texas Ladies Man, which is not on Bloodletting.
Oh, yeah.
The Ghost of a Texas Ladies Man.
Ghost of a Texas Ladies Man.
Because she says cowboy in a very stringent way in that song. So that's what popped there. So I'm taking you to Concrete Blonde.
Texas, Concrete Blonde, and I'll go to Suicide Blonde from there by INXS.
By INXS.
Which, what a great song, and of course INXS, we've blathered about INXS before.
Yeah, absolutely.
INXS, Concrete Blonde, Suicide Blonde was the color of her hair, like a cheap distraction. You can think Michael Hutchence, you can think some of their other songs.
Sure.
Or you can think Suicide.
Or I could think Four Non-Blondes.
Four Non-Blondes, yeah.
And take you back there.
Yeah, which is... What's going on? What's going on? Which takes you back to Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, exactly.
See?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I think this is actually kind of easy. At first, you're a little
apprehensive.
Like,
obviously.
what are you? We're driving off a cliff, but it's all right there.
And I could see like Dead Space could occur easily. But
Oh, yeah,
but I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that, you know, like you said, if this is something you could do 3 or 4 people sitting around, I'm sure this is a
So
variation.
everybody's
on
brain would fill
a
the
variation
air.
on an existing party game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
And
something
you-
like telephone, if you will.
And you probably wouldn't, if you had more than maybe 3 people, I think there may be enough input if you weren't disciplined about it that you wouldn't be able to hear what people be talking over each other through
sure.
the whole thing. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
So, you know, what's going on, Marvin Gaye, that brings a whole litany of.
Well, his version of "I Heard It Through the Grapevine,"
Sure.
which would take me to the.
I heard it on
it-
the X.
Oh, I heard it. There we go.
Right
I heard
back
it on
to-
the X.
I
We're
heard
right
it,
back.
you know,
We're
just
back to ZZ Top.
There's a little element in virtually everything.
Sure.
Yeah, that can.
That's pretty cool. So this could be fun, like you said, in a group of people.
Yeah.
And now, and I'm kind of just chattering because my head has got all of these songs connections going on.
Yeah,
this is
go.
your connections thing that we talked about. The
It is, but it's not as thought. It's not actually strung together. Not things that
Like-
impacted each other as
Right,
a result
exactly,
and
but,
led
I mean,
to a result.
sure, yeah.
But it is. Again, I relate it to like just random word association, or like you said, telephone.
Yeah.
Kind of. Which reminds me of another ELO song, "Telephone Line."
Oh yeah.
Just saying the word telephone.
And
How many songs come
Where
from
did I
the
read
word
somewhere
telephone?
that song doesn't mean anything? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I think I read that
Somebody
that
said-
Jeff Lynne said, like, yeah, there was no real impetus behind the song. It was just some words that went together.
It wasn't
I'm
like a personal story-ish
right.
thing or
I
whatever.
could be wrong, but I believe that's what I read. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, there's a whole story.
Yeah, there's
there,
a
you know?
personal, right? A very personal.
Absolutely, and maybe he was just keeping his personal life personal.
Yeah. Hello.
but anyway.
Hello. How you feeling? Have you
Yeah.
been all right?
Yeah. How you feeling? How are you? How are you?
Right.
Because he takes it way up, up a half an
Yeah,
octave
yeah,
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Through all the lonely nights. So how you feeling?
Yeah.
Hello. Of course. How many songs could you just
Yeah.
think of off of the
Hello,
word?
it's me.
Hello, it's me. Right. Hello, Dolly. I mean, okay, it's ridiculous, but
Sure.
it pops
but
in
it's
there.
not
You know what I mean?
ridiculous. I mean, just because our era is our era doesn't mean that the music prior.
Right.
Hello, prior to that doesn't matter.
Right.
I have a reference to a song for a segment we're going to do in another recording that goes back to 1934.
Oh yeah.
The actual original version of the song.
Sure.
I mean,
yeah.
and it's still a viable song covered during my lifetime.
Right.
15 times.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Wild, man.
Yeah. So that's I don't know. I don't know if you want to keep going, but that's the idea that I wanted to put out there and get. I was as excited to see if it, if it really does have traction.
Sure. Well, here's a thought. I think this episode's running on the long side.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I
maybe,
don't want to go
maybe,
too far
Maybe
into
we'll
it.
let this exercise go. But here's a thought: if you, the listener, want to take this to your crowd, and let us know how it goes.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Is if it, and I think it just did like
Work for us.
evidence itself.
Sure.
If we sat here, there might be a couple of dead spaces, but it would just roll.
Right.
I wanted to kind of get it across to whoever's listening also and see if it
Yeah,
if
I'd
it
be really
works
interested
there
in
too,
getting
if
some
they
feedback.
what they think about it. Yeah.
And I know I can count on feedback at the very least from family and a couple
Right,
of good friends
right.
that are going to go, "Oh yeah, why we?" Or "You're so stupid. That's
Right.
a bad idea." Whatever it is, I mean,
I think it stemmed from the other day. I mentioned to you that I took a couple of days and I really focused on keeping my phone handy with an open Word doc that I could voice to speech to text into.
yeah,
And tried to trap every song I could that popped into my head where I wasn't in an actual meeting with people
Sure.
and like saying whatever Metallica this and that. So there were some misses, but I tried to trap every song that came in. Well, my thought was when I went back and looked at the lists, it just was triggering. It was firing off about all kinds of things. So
and it
Yeah.
was a word association kind of thing at the time for you.
yeah,
as
yeah.
well?
At the time, my mind was starting to do that. So I sat down a little later and I was like, I'm going to see if this works. And then I just started thinking through it, and it was like I said, it was just like a cascading thing.
Well, as I've said, dozens of times, to you dozens of times and hundreds of times in my life, is the DJ in my head does not
work for me.
And he's an asshole.
Right.
Sometimes
He's a
he
schmuck.
just won't let, sometimes he's got a song on repeat for a day and a half.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And I think, although I don't know that I have I have the music playing nonstop like you do. And it's because squirrel, there goes
Right,
something else.
exactly.
And I get, distracted and taken
Right.
aside and whatever. And frankly, when it's more when we have something coming up that I really want to nail, like I find myself going why can't I think of a song? Why
Right.
I know hundreds of acts
When you're
and I know
trying-
dozens of songs by those acts each.
Right.
It's got to be 10,000 songs in at a minimum that are in my head somehow, some little piece
Right,
of, right?
right.
Why can't I pull a single fucking song?
That's
out of
when the DJ's being an asshole.
Yes,
Right.
yeah, he's always being an asshole.
Right.
But so then I'll start literally on the radio, whether it's real radio or it's satellite or whatever.
Right.
I'll punch the button, I'll look at the screen and see what's playing, and I'll punch the button again.
Right.
I'm not even listening. I'm
Yeah.
trying to key.
Right.
Let's get some artists in my head. Let's get
Trying
some
to
songs in my head.
jumpstart, trying
Absolutely.
to get past the little mental barrier that's going on.
Yes,
Right,
and
right.
that's for me personally, that's a very effective method. But that's because I'm trying to track information for a specific endeavor.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
This endeavor. But
Right, you're trying to make a mental effort as opposed to just letting it ring in the
flow.
background and
Yes,
not paying
yes,
attention to it.
yes.
Like, it's not elevator music anymore.
right,
You're programming the elevator music.
I am.
And then they're
And the
not letting
elevator
you
is
in the
stuck on
booth.
the ground
Right.
floor.
They're not letting you in the DJ booth.
All right, man. Well, that's a pretty cool. Thank you for bringing that in. That's a pretty cool thing, and I think that could be a pretty cool
Yeah,
thing for some listeners.
we'll see if we can. I think we should try to apply it in the future when we haven't run into an hour and odd time frame on a show.
Yeah.
That it could be fun to just sit down
Yeah.
and try to do, and probably more safely with a third person.
Absolutely.
To not have any dead airspace there, but that could be really cool.
Cool.
Okay, so we are pretty much done with the episode.
I think we're going to wrap the episode up. We have been rambling long enough.
We're rambling men. Think of all the songs that could just spin off the word rambling.
Yep.
Okay.
And three of them just popped into my head.
Just popped into your head.
Yep.
If we hadn't said enough, and we didn't, are mixtapes.
We are mixtapes. Some of us are more mixed than others, in my case. And this is You Should Know This Song.
This has
is our
been-
podcast. I haven't mentioned the website in at least an episode. I know I
Right,
haven't mentioned it
right.
once here. So go to the website, check it out. Check it out. Leave us a comment. Look at what's going on there. Check out some of the charities that we suggest.
Yes. You can, like he said, enter a comment in the charities are cool mentions for organizations that are doing cool things, and some related to using music and applying music to better the world. So there's some reason there. Donate to Wikipedia. Support Wikipedia.
That's okay. You get three of those.
I get three.
Three of
and
those per
I
episode
spent
for
all
cutting
three
out.
right in a row.
Yep.
Anyway, I think that's pretty much it.
Well,
Thanks
yeah.
for,
Other than thanks.
Thanks. Please subscribe. Please follow. Please like. Please share. Please send us your comments. Let us know what you think.
me. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. As I please you. Okay. Bye.
Bye. We're out.